My name is Ragne Sigmond, and I have a prop room that I call my treasure chamber. There I collect odd stuff that I use as props in my photography. The props are my tools, my inspiration, my medium and the frame within which I work within. Do you remember when you were a little child and could focus endlessly on a peculiar little thing and forget everything else? Or you could totally unfold and open your attention to the most surprising free associations. Being a child, we had an enormous flexibility to move between analytical and creative thinking, something we find so much harder being adults. As adults, we would know that this kind of woven plastic net is used for firewood sacks. A child has not yet gained this knowledge, and with eyes that see things for the first time, you are free to imagination. A ballet dancer in silhouette standing on an emerging island from the low tide during the morning hours, surrounded by some mystique water-repellent material flying around her. Well, here I've used some free association, because the materials are actually the mentioned firewood sacks, taken apart and put together, becoming something completely new. They say, one man's trash is another man's treasure. Here we have some creative use of a roll of blue plastic, discarded plastic. People have interpreted it as being the lightest fabric made out of silk. I could have spent a fortune on silk, but I got the plastic for free, and I made it look like silk. As adults, we tend to get stuck to what we know, staying in our comfort zone. So it's so important to remember the playful and open, exploring and experiencing attitude we had as a child when trying to be creative as adults, to be able to improvise, because sometimes you just cannot find the solution within the frames that we know. Creative image making is all about a certain attitude towards yourself and the materials you work with. I try to have a playful attitude and be curious like a child, and being open to blend unrelated stuff and form new connections. I try to have a why not attitude. I guess for some it would be surprising to think gown when seeing this discarded stack of wire fence. Well, here's how that turned out. Or when seeing some giant mushrooms during a walk in the woods, associate them with alternative clothing. Or what about a hat made out of fish? I coincidentally found this fish in the grocery store just hours before I was going to photograph this model. I was so fascinated by the colors of these smoked trout and quickly realized that they would work out well with my red-haired model. No need to say that these models got a little bit surprised when they got to know what they would wear for the photo session. The black sticks are the most important props in this picture. They contribute lightness to the model. And I find them interesting, the way they are becoming nice shapes in the composition. The hat here is put together by 3 weird decoration wreaths made out of pink feathers, found on sale. Most of my props are materials with specific purposes, considered useless after its initial use. They all find a new function, a new role in my pictures. Here we have a party garland made of plastic silver foil, bottle packaging found at the tax-free shopping. And this necklace is originally scrubbers found in the kitchen, you know, the one you scrub your kettles with? Or how about a bunch of old rusty keys put together, transformed into a clothing worthy of a queen? Here we have a gown made out from discarded cardboard wrapping. And here another gown made from cardboard, this time white with decoratively shaped holes. Holes initially meant for fruit in the grocery store. In this kind of personal work, I can let my ideas develop freely. I can improvise, and I can dare to move into the unknown, and I can dare to do mistakes and learn from them. I've learned to have faith in myself, my fantasy, and to believe and to be positive, to believe that no matter what happens during the photo session, it will turn out into something good in the end. Creativity flourishes within limitations. It's necessary to constrain yourself in the process of making images. This is an example of such, both with a restricted theme, in this case, women and formation in the 1800th century. And of course, with the props for my treasure chamber. This time I have found some old books, and I dipped them in colored baths, and then eventually it became a gown. My mind is focused on photography pretty much the whole day. Because although I work as a photographer and I teach photography at a daily basis, photography is also my hobby. It's so important to have a hobby. These examples are pictures from my spare time projects. A personal project is something that's creative just for you. You don't do it to make money from it or to get famous from it. You just do it because it makes you happy. And when there's no pressure, you can do what you want. It's regenerating. I love photography and the way my props can interact and become tools and inspiration in the process of making images. It's my way to find the child within me, to open doors to unknown landscapes, challenge myself, to make something extraordinary out of ordinary life. It's about finding the inner child with a creative, open, improvising, and playful attitude. An attitude that builds relations and friendships, creates warm memories and exciting experiences. It's an attitude that connects us to the world, opens doors in life. Thank you.